Hi, my name is Sara Peterson, and in her book, Bishop Buddy talks about acceptance. And I want to talk a little bit today about my journey with acceptance. 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with COVID and thought I would stay home for 5 days and get better. And it has turned into a 4-year journey of accepting a life that is very different than the life I had before. I was an active full-time teacher, and now I am disabled and spend most of my days going to different appointments and doing different treatments. And through this experience, I have really learned about the power we as humans have to accept that which we do not choose. Life brings us things that we don't expect, and our power lies in being able to accept those things. And so for me, I struggled for a long time with the word acceptance because I thought it meant I had to be happy about what happened or grateful for what happened or okay with what happened. And I have come to learn that acceptance is really just surrendering to the present moment and surrendering to what is. You don't have to like it. There's really no need to be positive about it or okay with it. It's just really surrendering to the present moment. And for me, there are two times in my journey that have really highlighted that power of acceptance. So the first one is I was sitting across from a doctor at the Mayo Clinic, and he looked at me and said, the conditions you have are chronic and there is no cure, and you have to learn to live with them. And in that moment, I realized that my journey had to transition from trying to get back to who I was and what life was into learning to live with where I was now and learning to accept that my body is different, my life is different, what I can do is different. And while there are struggles within that, there is still a lot of beauty and a lot of joy in my life. And I still live a very full life. It just looks very different. And the second experience with acceptance that really spoke to me is I was in nature. I get a lot of my connection and my groundedness in the divine in nature. And I was hiking at Fontenelle Forest, which is one of my favorite sacred places. And there is a tree that is growing into the ground, but it is bent. And to me, that tree, every time I walk by it, just is such a tangible reminder of acceptance. That tree is growing differently than any other tree, but it is just surrendered to where nature is taking it, and it is still thriving and it is still growing. And in the fall, the leaves are still beautiful. It has just surrendered to the present moment and surrendered to what is. And so for me, acceptance is a daily choice. I accept every day that my body is what it is, my life is what it is. And I learn to live with that, and I find the joy and the beauty in that.